Before we get started, my goal in this video isn't to scare you any more than you probably already are about reaching out to others, because I can relate. I'm afraid too. I really want to make friends, but my past makes it difficult to trust or reach out, so I just stay silent. However, I want to help you to avoid the bad stuff that I've seen and experienced by drawing your attention to things that might quietly slip past your spidey senses. Things that might seem mundane or even normal, but could be hiding far darker intentions. It's important that we keep popping the bubble that is the VTuber community, being this endlessly welcoming, harmonious place where everyone is instantly friends. Believe me, the truth is way darker than the sunshine and rainbows that you see on the surface. This is especially important for those of you who are new to or considering being a VTuber. But I think we can all benefit from a shift in perspective, one that calls out the bad and helps us stay mindful as we navigate our lives in 2D, 3D, and in real life. Stay with me to the end for The Truth, a section that ties everything together to give you practical tools for spotting the red flags and sketchy behaviors that I've seen too often. Because I want you to feel empowered to make choices that protect your well-being and enrich your experiences in the VTuber community. By the end, you'll be better prepared to build connections that truly matter and empowered to walk away from those that don't. In the VTuber world, fans aren't just viewers. They're often fellow VTubers with the same hopes and dreams: to grow, gain followers, and maybe even make this a full-time career. This shared ambition makes us especially vulnerable to certain viral posts that look supportive on the surface, but are crafted to play on these exact desires. Some of these posts appear to offer a helping hand, inviting small creators to share their PNGs or links in hopes of gaining visibility. They look like genuine opportunities to connect and grow, but if you look a little closer, you'll see that they work quietly in favor of the original poster. As more replies roll in, the original poster's reach grows, while those who engage are often left with little to show for it. It's a subtle setup that can leave creators feeling disheartened, wondering why their efforts to grow are not paying off. Twitter's algorithm prioritizes posts with high engagement. That's likes, retweets, and comments, which means these interactions boost the visibility of the original tweet, not the replies. And as a result, the original poster gets increased exposure, while those responding often see little, if any, return. Think about it. When is the last time you replied to one of these and actually followed through, liking, following others, or engaging beyond dropping your own PNG and links? Yeah, I fell for it too. And without even realizing it, you've just helped boost their engagement while
you get nothing.
It's not just a coincidence, it's exactly what they wanted. I wish I could say that that was the only way in which we get tricked, but there's more. We all know that being a VTuber isn't cheap, so wherever we can catch a financial break, we're gonna take it, especially when it comes to the things that we really want or need, especially when they're free, like character art and emotes, all the way up to fully drawn and rigged models. Because what's the harm in entering a free contest, right? If you win, you win. If you lose, at least someone else benefits and you didn't lose anything. And maybe, just maybe, since you posted your PNG and links, someone will at least follow you, right? Were you listening to me at all in the prior section? You should know where I'm going with this. All of the previous callouts apply: free engagement, only the OP benefits, yada yada. But since we're adding in the possibility of winning something, that comes with some additional strings attached. These are generally more effective because who doesn't like free stuff? And you may be more inclined to think that if it's a big prize, the odds are higher that it's legit because more eyes are on it. And if you think that, you're about to be surprised. Because there was a case like this back in 2022 where a company called Artisan Builds promised to give away a free PC. But they didn't like the small streamer that won and refused to give it to them for some stupid reason. And the internet being what it is, people caught on, and that company had to file for bankruptcy. But if I'm some rando offering a doodle to 5 winners, are you really going to make time in your life to come back and fact check me that I really did it? Or to check that it was actually fair and I didn't just give it to friends? Most likely not. You'll engage, try to win, and move on. When you add scammers and AI into the mix, you get farming posts. Imagine the free art post that we just spoke about, but this time, it's a scammer using AI to control many accounts. One posts about giving away free art to 5 lucky winners, but everyone who replies is secretly added to a list for 10 other accounts to contact later, offering to sell art services at cheap prices. Wow, I bet no VTuber ever has ran into DMs like these before. Said no one. We can lose touch with reality because life isn't always ideal, especially when the person we're watching isn't a person in the traditional sense, but a fantasy, an anime waifu or husbando with whom we feel connected. In fandoms, the deeper you go, the more complex these relationships become. Fans may begin to cross boundaries they shouldn't, fueled by a sense of entitlement or a false narrative that they built in their own minds. This can be amplified as their personal investment increases. Stream hours watched, merchandise bought, and money spent donating in hopes senpai will call out their name. The line between fan and friend can blur. This dynamic, often referred to as a parasocial relationship, is a one-sided emotional bond with someone you don't truly know. And in the VTuber world, where creators directly interact with fans far more than any Hollywood star ever would, that bond easily intensifies. As VTubers climb the ladder to fame, the likelihood of attracting intense yet unreciprocated affection that can easily turn unhealthy only grows. This is the parasocial price tag. This can also overlap with the term simp, where fans go above and beyond to gain the approval or attention from their favorite VTuber, sometimes believing they're building something real. For instance, Oro Crony faced backlash simply for collaborating with male VTubers, and Vox Akuma, he had to say the quiet part out loud.
You and I are not in a relationship. I care deeply about my fans, but I do not know you. Okay?
Fans far outnumber the VTuber, and without clear boundaries, things can spiral quickly. So kudos to those who both set and enforce these boundaries, especially when it's uncomfortable to do so. It's a crucial step in managing the hidden cost of fame. The friendliest faces are the ones that we least expect to betray us. In the VTuber community, there are those that wear a mask of kindness, presenting themselves as welcoming, helpful, and even supportive, and embodying the best of what we believe the community to be. But behind closed doors, some of those individuals show a different side, a side that we see only when it's too late. Sadly, there are plenty of VTubers out there being their worst selves, their every action just writing the script for every drama tuber's next video. And unlike the nameless, faceless fans, these VTubers have left a lasting mark, their names etched into the countless YouTube videos, news articles, and social media posts. In the end,
that the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
This isn't a rare phenomenon either. If you go searching online or even binge watch a drama tuber's channel, you'll find countless examples, which is absolutely disappointing. And Joyce Swole says it best.
You need to do better.
And it would be nice at this point if I could say that all the people that do these things are eventually caught and exposed, but that's not the reality. For every story we hear about, countless others remain hidden, either because the victims are silent, the person isn't famous enough, or the story isn't juicy enough to draw attention. Unfortunately, I've experienced this firsthand. They presented themselves as kind and trustworthy, carefully curating an image to make people believe it. And my experience wasn't nearly as severe as some of the others I'm going to discuss in a moment, but it hurt me deeply. I put genuine effort into building a friendship, only to be dismissed over a lighthearted holiday post that I made that didn't align with their narrow view. And suddenly I was deemed unclean and no longer worthy of even their follow, which they made sure to announce to me as if prompting me to correct the error of my ways and take it down in order to keep their friendship. And like many of you, I struggle with making friends. And when things like this happen, it pushes me further away, back into my cozy corner with only my fluffy tails to keep me company. I'm sharing my story to show that small VTubers are not immune to this either. It's not only the well-known names who get targeted or taken advantage of. This kind of behavior can happen to anyone, no matter how big or small their platforms. And as we're about to see, sometimes they become well-known only because of the drama they caused or the unfortunate harm that was done to them. First up is Evil Toaster, who had a 57-page Google Doc, among other sources, identifying them as the VTuber and Twitch ambassador who claimed ownership of Twitch's knock feature that doxed VTubers by turning on webcams. And for anyone who spoke out against it, they were belittled publicly. Worse yet, they're also accused of being inappropriate towards women, pressuring them, not taking no for an answer, among other disgusting things that I'm not going to bring up here. Search this one at your own risk. Next, Death Blooms has a 20-page Google Doc, and at this point, it should be said that if you've inspired someone to write your memoir on Google Docs and it's so long that it needs a table of contents, you may want to rethink all of your life choices. But I digress. Death Blooms is the female alternative to Evil Toaster, accused of using and manipulating multiple male VTubers in order to cheat on their partner, going so far as to lead them to believe that there was no partner, or if they knew, that they were going to be left for that VTuber. And a quick word of warning, don't light a match or all this gaslighting may cause an explosion. And as with the first example, it gets worse the more you read into it. But suffice to say, it looked like she was out to build her own real-life anime harem, whatever the cost. Earlier this year, a situation involving Dovelove, commonly called Dove, made waves when she attempted to dox fellow VTuber Kenji. And doxing is the act of sharing someone's personal information without their consent, and is often done with harmful intent. And for VTubers who rely on anonymity, it's even more damaging. And Dove wasn't acting alone either. A group of Kenji's supposed friends joined in, amplifying the malice. And the reason, you might ask, for all of this planned, purposeful harm, Kenji had removed Dove's Discord moderator status. That's it. An attempt to ruin someone's life over losing access to a banhammer. Definitely not doing the image of a Discord mod any favors. I know I've been a bit overdramatic, but I wanted to drive these important points home, so you stay safe and take away something valuable from this video. My goal isn't to make you think that everyone's out to get you. Far from it. There are countless wonderful people here in the VTuber community, and I want you to feel confident in making friends out there. But as we've seen, red flags can pop up in all kinds of ways, from viral posts that seem harmless to relationships that go from friendly to toxic. The key here is to keep an eye out for patterns, trust your instincts, and know that not all connections are worth your time and that it's okay to walk away. It's about making connections with your eyes open and your ears to the ground so you don't just fall for whatever someone wants you to believe is their true face. But remember, there are also people here with genuine intentions who can become real friends. It's just about finding those people and recognizing when their face is genuine and not a farce. So before diving into any relationship or opportunity, ask yourself if what you're seeing is consistent over time. Trust your instincts. Don't be afraid to peek behind the curtain and take a step back if something feels off. So go ahead, build friendships, connect with others, and remember, your well-being comes first. And before you go, stay with me just a little bit longer by watching one of the recommended videos you see on the screen. And at very least, Hit subscribe while you're here so I can see you again sometime soon. Later, my Kitsujin.